For this lesson, you only had to work on page 120. So for number 1, evaluate each expression when x is -2 and y is 4. All you're doing is taking these numbers and putting them into each expression where it says 2. So let's start by writing 2 in the parentheses. And then we have to put x, and x is -2. And then we have a plus symbol. And then it says y, and y is 4. Okay, so remember PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponent, multiplication and division, adding and subtracting. So the first thing we have to take care of is inside that parentheses. So we have a -2 plus 4. So if you think about a number line going up and down, and there's 0, we're going to go down 2, but then we're going to turn around and go up 4. So we know we're going to be above 0. And because we're going opposite directions, we basically subtract these numbers. So 4 minus 2 is 2, and we know that it's going to be positive. So then we have 2 parentheses 2. And remember, when they're sitting right next to each other, that means multiply. So 2 times 2 is 4. And there's our final answer. Okay, for the second one, we have 2, and then we're writing x right next to it. But it doesn't mean 2 minus 2. When you're writing two numbers right next to each other, that means multiply. So we're going to have to put parentheses around this to show that we are multiplying those two. And then it says plus y, and y is 4. Okay, so if you multiply 2 times -2, you get -4. And then plus 4 will bring us to 0. Okay, if you remember absolute value, those two lines, absolute value means the distance away from 0. How many units away from 0 is it? So we have our absolute value of x, and x is a -2, plus y, which is 4. So we have -2 plus 4, which is exactly what we did up here, which gives us a +2. So absolute value of +2 means how many units away from 0 is +2? Well, it's 2 units away from 0. So that means the absolute value of 2 is 2. Okay, now let's do absolute value of x, and x is -2, minus y, and y is 4. Okay, so we're going to go down 2, and then when we minus 4, we're going to go down 4 more. So we're going down 2 and then down 4 more. We're going to be even further below 0. So we're going to be at a -6. All right, so absolute value of -6 means how many units away from 0 is -6? It is 6 units away from 0. Okay, for 2a, for each table, plot the ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. In this table, the x and y coordinates are all non-negative, so the grid contains only quadrant 1. What they're talking about is all of these are non-negative. They're positive numbers. So they only put in quadrant 1. They didn't need to put in the whole grid showing all the quadrants because we don't have any negative numbers to work with. It's kind of like what we did in class. Okay, so first point is 0, 0. So on our x-axis, we go to 0. And then on our y-axis, it's also 0. So we're not moving up or down. It's going to be right here at the origin. Okay, for x, we have 1. So go over to 1 on your x-axis. Go up to 2. Then we have x is 1 again, but this time y is 5. So we're going up to 5. And I'd recommend you pause your video right here and go ahead and try to fill these in on your own to make sure you're getting it, and then just come back and check your work. So dots are kind of all over the place. Okay, so in this table, there's a mixture of positive and negative. So the grid contains all 4 quadrants. Okay, so for x being -4, on our x-axis, we're going over to -4. And then for y, we're going up to 6. For x, we're going over to -3, and then we're going to go up to 5. -2 up to 4, and we can already see there's a pattern developing. -1, 3, 0 up to 2, 1, 1, 2, 0, over to 3, down to -1, and over to 4, and down to -2. All right, that's 120, and that's it for that lesson.